Let me see if I got to do a backup. Hi, everybody. I know we're live. And here you are. You get to watch me do a backup. We're going to be talking about the sun today. And as these lives go, I will look at your comments and answer them later. But we are here at High Desert Human Design Catalyst with a room full of beautiful people coming to expand our ideas on what it's like to have energy take shape on Earth and what the mythologies are of Mother Gaia and where they can move into what we can imagine the possibilities of. So thanks for being here with me today. I'm going to have some slides that I'm so sorry, but you're not going to see. But I'm going to come back and edit this. So if you make a comment, I'll make sure you get the new video with the slides so you can see them. But I'm sure that I'll give enough information just by listening to me talk. So again, thanks for being here. And I know if anybody knows of a better way to do this and wants to help me, I am open for help. This is the best way I know how today. Okay. So I want us to imagine, I'm going to go back here before we do that. I want us to first imagine our Earth placement. You imagine yours? Some keynotes about it? Maybe a language? I'm going to go around the room.
12-4.
12.
Prophet.
The prophet, 12-4. Okay. So keep this in mind when you're listening to me talk about Gaia. Maybe replace Gaia with what you imagine this beautiful prophet to look like. What sign is she in? What is 12 in?
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius. Oh my gosh, of course. So now what does she look like? Go ahead.
She's a fiery woman with magenta hair.
She's a fiery woman with magenta hair. Perfect. Beautiful. So let's hold this image of your Earth.
What was
The
it?
prophet.
Oh, Earth?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Earth.
What's the sign for Earth?
The one underneath the sun, it is the
got a
one with the
cross.
cross in it.
A circle and a plus.
hmm
37.
Oh yeah, 37. This is emotional connection to tribe. I'm losing the words tonight again, but I'll get into the groove again. Hold on.
Yeah, it's a 6.
Yeah, so this character is a role model, is a teacher, is a and this teaching or this role modelness, the way that this character embodies his energy is either through emotional weakness or tenderness, through finding balance and equality. So this character finds equanimity in connected relationships, finds the ability to show up for people with love, in that almost egoic way, but it's an emotional egoic way. It's I'm going to prove to you that I love you by showing up for you kind of energy. That's this character. I could go on and on, but I caught myself.
Yeah, I was moved.
Yeah.
Go first, Valerie.
How about you, Valerie?
6. Mine.
You have words for her or him or it or them?
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean, I know the city is peace.
Yeah. Yeah. Diplomacy, conflict. The fundamental component of growth is friction. Growth cannot exist without friction, but diplomacy is what brings peace in friction. So that's what this character is like, is the diplomat, right? And bringing peace to friction through diplomacy. 39.
I really don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. I'm going to invite you to imagine this, these words as a character. You see, I'm representing a character and having them hold that character in their mind. This character that I'm talking about, I want you to imagine if it applies to any dimension in your life, specifically the dimension of grounding, of earthing, which I'm going to talk about when we move on. So let's just imagine this guy as a character in a movie, and then you apply this character to this story I'm about to tell and see if it sounds familiar to you in your life. And this would be the provocateur, both of you. It would be the provocateur. It would be the person that feels the pressure of why is everyone not being real, and the timeline or the mythology that it takes about putting on the pressure of real emotional truth, of learning yourself how to be true with your own emotions, learning that when you show up into a space that other people will get emotional, and that might have made you uncomfortable in the past, or has taught you about how to ease or soothe that provocation for them in one way or another. This character moves into liberation, wants everything to be free. Free. That's what it wants, freedom. And or this character knows deep down that the only way to be free is to be truthful or authentic. The only way to be free is to be authentic. It's not about money. It's not about fame. It's not about these other things that people chase. It's about authenticity. And so you've spent this character has spent their life bringing into form authenticity through their provocation. Okay, that's this movie, this story. For both of you. You do it by way of trying to find security with another by provoking them to be authentic, because you don't feel safe with people if they're not. And you just naturally, you didn't even do it on purpose. As a baby child, you're like, why is everybody mad at me? And then you learned about it. And then you learned tarot. And then you learned crystals. And then you learned energy healing. And then you learned, and then you learned, and then you learned, so that when you do provoke, your natural movement is that of service, like your projector self wants to be.
Cool.
Yeah.
Can I say something
If you want to, yeah.
about Earth?
Can we wait until we're on Earth? Can we go through
Okay.
the characters first?
Yeah.
And then we'll talk
What was
about.
the question that you were asking? I thought you were asking us to put Earth into a character.
I was asking for your Earth in your chart, for you to imagine it as a character,
Yeah.
and then we're going to put it on Earth.
Yeah.
Only then. But first we were talking, let's go through the characters and bring all
Yeah,
them to the table.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It was my character.
Oh, okay. Your character, not the
I know
Earth.
your character.
What?
I want to know your character.
The character for Earth is this incredibly wonderful expanse that a gardener can grow things in.
Oh, yes. Yes. We talked about that last
And I
week.
can grow a lot
Yes.
of different things.
Yes. Beautiful.
And it's all seeded up in Earth.
And that's going to be such a beautiful way to imagine the story that I'm about to go into. So thank you for that. Yeah.
I'm 43, so
Yeah. 43. Insight.
yeah. So I have a lot of aha moments, and I tend to bring people a lot of aha moments, whether I do it intentionally or unintentionally sometimes. So I look at her as I don't know why, but I look at her as this little fairy with a wand that kind of goes ding 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 ding.
I love it. Epiphany is the highest, the city, right? Epiphany. Epiphany for you, one for you, and one for you.
Because I just love fairies, so I thought of them.
I love that.
So you're the just
Okay. Daniel, my dear.
62-3.
62. Do you have a character in mind? For precision, intellect. What's the other word? This is about being precise with language, because 62 collapses the wave function into manifestation. Did that make any sense to you? Okay. And so 62 is intellect is actually the shadow. Impeccability of word is the highest expression, because impeccability of word is the thing that creates. Okay, so you got this character in your mind. He's wearing glasses, and he's very particular in the words that he shares, and he is looking and being very thoughtful before he shares the next sentence. Something like this. Oh, No, not at all, guys.
Really appreciate the ability to create, exactly, communicate precisely,
Mhm.
create depth.
Daniel Webster.
Oh, that's funny.
Joke.
Yeah. That's 62. So that's a character, right? If we could personify that in any way, it could be a Daniel, right? Let's imagine that when I tell this story, that archetype.
51.
Ooh.
I only have one word that I know for that right now, which is shock.
Yeah. It's initiation, my dear. It's awakening. It is bringing the thunder, and the thunder and the lightning and the rain and what grows. And it does look a little traumatic and violent sometimes. And that's all right. And traumatic and violent, by that I mean interior, when we are in growth, when we are in initiation, it feels binding, restrictive against me and my will sometimes. And 51 is the archetype of doing that in a way that's initiatory and awakening into a higher selfness, because 25 is the other side of that, right? So universal love. So it's initiation into universal love. So that initiator from that purpose. Can you imagine that character? Okay. I'm 44 in the sixth line. And so my character is a networker. My character can smell a rat and knows exactly who sits at her table and who does not. My character knows exactly how to build fractals in ways that don't reject others, but include others here or somewhere else. That's my character. And now we're going to talk about the earth. Do you guys want to share a bit about what you know about the earth in this context of human design and or astrology? So we can kind of talk about that and then extend the myth, or you just want me to go for it?
Just go for it.
Just go for it?
Cheers.
Okay. Okay. So the archetypal placement here in your design embodies the weight of your existence. If the sun is the thing that's in the sky, and the thing that's in the sky burns with nuclear fusion, bringing its heat to the earth, the combination of there being soil or something to stand on and it being hit by the heat produces something. What does it produce? It produces this archetype that we've just talked about. It creates the character that we've just brought to life. And the way that your sun gets anchored into reality is through this character. The way that we've expressed your Chiron, the wound that you have, colors all of this, and your sun shines, and your earth says, okay, here is what comes of that. This emergence signifies the relationship between form and consciousness. It is the revealing of this relationship is the important revealing of the earth, of why we live here, why we are here doing this job right here, right now. And I think it's wonderful that we invocated Three-Eye Atlas and Lyria and everything else that we've invocated earlier today here while we talk about this, because this is the other side of the saddle. We, all of us in this room, really love to live in these worlds where we can imagine what is possible. And the way that we bring that into the world is through this archetype that we just talked about. This one. So how did the earth come? Came from primordial chaos. What does that mean? That just means there was a bunch of gases and minerals floating around, and they floated around at enough velocity for enough time in which they came together and fused something. So before anything took shape, chaos, or chaos being the logos or the everything, the possibilities, right, existed as undifferentiated potential, infinite possibilities. A foundation from which anything rises. So the sun is the primordial chaos that your earth takes shape from. So let me give an example. My 24, my conceptual brilliance only exists in my fractal, in my 44. It only exists when I'm with the people that can hear me, that have ears for me. It would float in the sky otherwise. Your willpower, your divine will, gets anchored in the love of your beloveds. in the connection and your emotional devotion to them. What is your son?
12, 4,
Your son is 22, 20, no.
12, 11.
Oh, son is, what's your
Oh,
son?
my son, yeah, my son's 11.
11. Right. Thank you. Thank you. So your beautiful ideas and the ideal of your spirit and your emotional experiences as that jack of all trades, your truth, your highest truth is only anchored as a prophet through that emotional truth into the community. It's the only way 12 takes root, through idealism. Right? So we're going to go through that more deeply in everybody's chart, but I want to keep going here. This represents the first differentiation in creation, where Earth becomes the essential structure and foundation for everything that our sun wants to build. So we know the Earth manifests as dynamic force, where creation arises through pressure and forging mountains and seas. Her power lies not in comfort, but in containment. So, and we're going to get a little deeper into this, but this is where I want to introduce the topic of, or the difference in our idea of Earth being, not that it's not this beautiful nest, but remember, a beautiful nest is also containment. And if we're looking at this process through the lens of emotional intelligence, through the lens of 55, our bringing our emotional spirit into form, how do we do that? How do we bring God here? Through containment, through the forging of finding my fractals, even though I want to shout from the rooftops everything I know, and I get hurt real bad and rejected when I say it to the wrong people. That's my 44. That's my story. We all have our stories, right? It's forged. Containment is forged. And this is the Earth.
I keep getting the word crucible.
Yes, beautiful. Yeah.
Everything, all this is like Earth is the crucible and fire from the sun and all the elements.
That's right. The crucible. Mm-hmm.
It's a container to.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's the container that holds the containers, right? Because they're as above, so below. And it's this fractal image of everything's contained within the everything. And it always is. And so this Earth is only the same as our somatic body. Earth is memory. The ground serves as timeless recorder, holding every impact, history, and history within its form. So Gaia has been the witness, capturing the essence of existence without judgment or bias. That's what our bodies do. This is what our Earth does in our fascia, in our epigenetic intelligence, in our field. This is our body, our Earth, as above, so below. It's doing the same thing. The Earth has recorded all of our everything, just like our bodies have in the constellation of our lives. So in early human consciousness, right, Neanderthals, right brain beings, we were really moving with the cycles of the Earth, with nature. The oracle at Delphi went into a cave and sat with a pulsing rock of the Earth. And she came out from listening. We were in listening mode. We were in receptive mode. We were in fostering a connection with a profound relationship with the environment. And then the sky came. And the sky contained everything. And we brought sky gods like Uranus and, Kronos, that's spelled wrong, Zeus, representing a separation from Gaia, shifting upward. Not that we've done anything wrong, but we had to shift our gaze upwards in order to grow. This is just, we exhausted right brain receivership, or maybe not exhausted, but got to the point where left brain doing, brilliance, moving, building was where we were moving to. And so shifting consciousness from earthly connection to abstract observation, labeling things, thinking about things, writing everything down, taking everything apart into its tiniest little constituents, forgetting that it is a whole. On purpose, not because we've done anything wrong. So the introductions, like I said, of sky gods led to the mythic escalation where human strategies, I had a list, so I didn't read it to you, but where human strategies of control emerged. And we needed to do that so that we could label and number and write about and analyze and really stretch our legs in our left brain capacity. This is the birth of capitalism and the patriarchy and everything that we see today. And the earth, trust in her, connection to her, reflection, listening to the connections to her faded away when we looked up, when we had gods, when we started labeling things, when we started left braining, when we got that ability as primates. Something that we do know is that Gaia she went quiet. She's gone quiet for a while, but we know her rumblings. We know when our mother is upset or mother figure. We know the general cultural and gender-based reaction of a woman when she is being tread upon is to back up and watch. And this is what she's done. This is what she's done. Her interventions, her renewals that are happening right now highlight natural cycles of healing and adaptation that are essential for survival, and they mirror what we are doing with our bodies. We are no longer ignoring our bodies and putting plastic and burying steel and dumping environmental toxins. We're no longer doing that. But we're not necessarily actively listening. We, as a collective, are kind of watching and seeing and doing what we can when we can. This is mirroring what she is doing in her process. The withdrawal of Gaia's consultation marks a turning point in the narrative, in my opinion, highlighting the consequence of silence when we turn away from our body. The silence serves not as defeat, though, but as a catalyst for reflection and growth. I think that when we can isolate ourselves from our body and become silent and watch and see what we've done, we can understand now what consequence means. And until we understand consequence, we don't know growth. And so I think this is my theory, is that Gaia is the consequence. Gaia is teaching us that a responsible, authentic expression is not willy-nilly. Everybody gets to deal with it. Fuck it, I'm being authentic. I don't care if I hurt you or not. That's not what's going on. We get to be authentic in container, in form. And that takes reflection. So Gaia serves as the primary vessel through which all actions resonate, just like our bodies. Every impact shapes the Earth's form, recording a history of existence and consequences, illustrating the interconnectedness of life and the environment. And I think once we can see the consequences and relate it to our body, we can then get to the business of moving in the other direction. But until we can see cause and effect in that way, until we understand that in our minds, very innocent 3 bags of trash that we create every week, every single human being is creating 3 bags of trash every week. When we start seeing the consequences of what we feel are innocent things, in vanity, I hadn't done it in a long time, and no judgment to anyone else, but I know my earth does not like hair dye on its head. And I said, you know what? I haven't done it in 7 years. I'm just going to go ahead and put it on there. And I suffered for it. I didn't listen to her. I did what I wanted because I decided, right? We are doing that. Not that I'm wrong or bad. I'm just in the process of remembering to listen. Remembering to listen. And that's what we're doing with her too. Because when I can listen to her, then I can be interconnected. And interconnection is all I want. I just want to belong. I just want to be resourced because I exist. And that lives in here. In her. She, it, that just wants to connect. Okay, so the patterns of disconnection leading to over-specialization, lack of balance, this cycle results in a profound relationship between our actions and the environment, which demands renewal. So this is just showing us where we need to be, the earth and the mythology of the earth. So let me go back just a little bit that I failed to mention at the very beginning. The earth in early mythologies, she was the background. She wasn't even mentioned, like Hecate or
Lilith.
Hestia. They weren't even mentioned. They were backgrounds. They were the thing in which everything happened. And so Gaia, in the initial, when we were Neanderthals or moving with the cycles of the earth more in intuitive ways, our goddess was a goddess that sat in the doorway of our doors every time we left, right into the earth, signifying this protection coming from the earth, signifying the interconnectedness with trusting that this earth, this ground, will protect this home when I'm not there. We've moved completely away from that into protecting, to containering, just like we've done with the world around us. When we started labeling every plant in the world, we started labeling ourselves in those same ways. And Earth is just the play place for all of that to take shape. Again, you know that I carry a frame of emotional intelligence because as a 6th line, I know that we are moving into surviving in these bodies through emotional intelligence, through understanding the way that our beliefs affect the chemistry in our body. It's the only way we're going to survive is if we start marrying the two of those things. That's called emotional intelligence. And so I look at everything through that lens. The earth is just like our bodies. We are just learning to listen to her. When she becomes emotionally intelligent, then she provides the environment in which we also get to flourish. So this is a relationship. This isn't like last week I talked about a remembering, right? The sun shines. This is a relationship. This is a cultivation with how does your brilliance that has never been here before precisely get into the world. How does it do that? Through the pain and wounding in your body. Once you pay attention to that so that you can listen to it fully, that's when precision, that's when the real frequency that collapses the wave function of exactly what you want comes. Only through the healing of your body. That's where all these characters get their arc when you watch them in the movie of your life. It comes through the healing of the body and the way I know that my biggest gurus are you. This is the hardest thing for me to do. I would rather be a hermit up in my mountains, shoveling my snow. This is my challenge. I get to move through all the wounding that I was given or brought up with or mythologically introduced to as a gift so that I can learn how to be with other people, because that's not the way I grew up. So this is the hard thing for me, is to be here talking in front of you and sharing myself. So anyway, the earth is if you imagine when the seed goes in and puts its little roots down and then puts its little limb up, those are all violent actions. The soil's like, whoa, dude, why did you disrupt me? That's a violent action. And then it's like, oh my gosh, you pierced my head. These are violent actions. This is growth. This is learning to be together with something. So the sun and the earth in your design create a dynamic friction that brings about God. Whatever God is of your understanding. So rebuilding the connection between earth and sky is essential. Integrating fosters the relationship where thought becomes accountable to form. In my early teachings, something that bothered me was that a lot of the teaching separated mind from body, making mind bad. And that was very hard for me because my mind is a beautiful place and she saved me a lot of times in my very terrorizing childhood. My mind was a great place. So making that separation, the body was very scary and the mind was a very safe place to be. In my human design chart, that is where my split is. All of my leadership is in my body. My individual, let's go be a hermit, lives in my head. And so I didn't like the teachers that said get out of the mind or the no mind or this, because my mind was a very integral part. So what I'm saying here, the heresy that I'm bringing to the myth of Gaia is the relationship being accountable The relationship with the divine, being accountable to form. No longer are the days where we are sitting in temples, letting our bodies melt away because we're holding, not that that's not right for some people, but the most of us are in life, living life as the divine in whatever way that that means for us. And so we get to cultivate. The way that I've cultivated this relationship is I call him, him, and I call her, her. And she points and he provides and protects. She knows what she wants. She knows what feels good. And he says, all right, how are we going to give that to her? And that's the way that I've been able to work on marrying my sky and earth. Because when she says, yeah, it would feel really good to go sit with my community on Tuesday, but oh my gosh, I'm having apprehension and resistance. You guys, it happens every time. My body, I have beliefs that I have instilled that I'm still working to unfold that say being around people is not safe. And so my mind says, okay, I know she wants to be there. How do we make her safe? We journal about all the ways that are safe. So he goes to work protecting her and having her get what she wants, even though she's scared of it. This isn't always a relationship. So again, I kind of gave it already, but the 6 line perspective offers the view of emergence, overreach, collapse, integration, making all of that okay, because that's the cycle of development. And that's how anything grows. But being able to see and feel consequences from a distance, highlighting interconnectedness helps us make better decisions. When we can see our interconnectedness, I'm going to say it another way. When we can see our interconnectedness and our consequences, we make such different decisions. In our own solar systems of our lives, and in this grand solar system we live in. Interconnectedness needs to marry awareness. It needs to marry the knowing of consequence. Because I know, anybody who knows me well knows that I have a strict no-kill policy. It doesn't matter what it is. I feel the consequence of stepping on an ant in my body. I don't feel it with everything, but that's one of the things I feel it with. I feel the interconnectedness of myself with insects. Strict no-kill policy. And I'll walk away. You can kill if you want, but I can't be around it. It hurts her. There's an interconnectedness that when we feel it in our earth, when we let it be felt, we have no choice but to make other decisions because it hurts. That's what our teachers have been teaching us, is that we are not separate. And I know that that sounds wild, but we're all a part of this field, right? We all in this room at least are in agreement that we are part of this electric field that we all live within, that we have collapsed ourselves into cages so that we don't have to feel. But I'm inviting you into feeling more deeply so that we can remember the interconnectedness, so that we can all have what we want because it's all freaking there. Yeah, as a want-motivated person. So Gaia, just like our bodies, are longing for that relationship where the wisdom guides our actions. I think there's a few that are missing, but that's the end of that one. So really, I wanted to share that about the degree, the involution and evolution. Ray has a Merkaba somewhere, like a flat. Do you have or the full dimensional Merkaba?
That's
There's one over there.
Oh,
star tetrahedron.
okay, here we go. Representing, so the downward triangle, right? Representing the sun coming into form. The upward triangle representing the form reaching up for the divine. This Merkaba, this coming together, that is the divine frequency that when intact starts spinning in a magnetic way that brings everything that is to fulfill your purpose, i.e. feels good, to you. That balance of evolution and involution, letting it in and letting you grow. This is, and so when we imagine it and bring it into your earth, into my earth, my inventions, my beautiful ideas of this spiral of everything in which evolution has a toroidal field in which to grow, could never take form if I didn't have people. 44. My 24 could never be in existence without my 44. And the tension between those two is always the wounding. Brings you to the wounding every single time. As a psychologist, when I saw this, I could take 2 years into 2 weeks and talk about the dynamic tension between the archetype of your sun and the archetype of your earth. And every single time when I said, well, why can't you do this and bring this into the world? Do this. They said, oh, well, I can't do that. Because when growing up, or because I'm just so afraid that, So you can hear every single piece of whatever wounding you still carry when you meet yourself at that intersection between what your highest want of bringing something true into the world, or being able to follow that intuitive truth no matter how fucking crazy it is. That highest want in your body that you've always talked yourself out of meets at the intersection of being shocking and all of the pain that you've experienced in your life because you are competitive and shocking, and people don't like that. And so you don't listen to your intuition, right? The intersection of those two, that's what you're doing here on earth.
And that's the heart.
Right. And that's the heart. I know I get passionate about it. Yeah. So I wonder what's alive in you. Any yous. You always have alive. Oh, I heard something.
I was just wondering, this is a great thing you brought up about how you spoke about the mind being the masculine. I wonder if you all went around and thought about what would our minds tell our bodies.
If, let's finish the other part so they could fill in the blank. What would our minds tell our bodies if, about what?
Like our sun and our earth.
Mm-hmm.
So if you looked at our sun and our earth.
Oh, right.
And
As
if our
characters,
sun
what
was
would they
the-
say?
Oh, yeah, the sun was the character of the mind, and the earth was the character of the body.
You want to go first?
Sure.
Okay.
I've been thinking about that
If
this
the
whole
sun
time.
were the character of mind,
Yeah.
and the earth were the character
Of body.
what would one tell the other?
That's a fun one.
Yeah, and then as you were talking about it, I was like, oh, we should all do it. But I was trying to think, I couldn't quite figure out mine. My sun is simplicity and my earth is inside. I understand. So I always have these epiphanies, and then I want to go and tell the whole world about it. So I'm always excited. Okay, I discovered something. Okay, and let's go tell the whole world about it. And then my brain always is like, well, you will have to figure out how to make this simplified and how to make this understandable, or you're gonna come out as a freak.
There you go.
Yeah.
Exactly. There it is.
So, and then if you can't do that, then just stay quiet. So that's
Yeah.
the mind being.
Right. And so you could probably connect stories as a child about why the mind says that thing that the mind says.
Okay, yes, that makes sense. Thank you.
That's where the intersection is. That's that point of tension in the Merkaba, is that moment when the mind says, well, you're going to be a freak. And the body says, but it's time, or I want to, or I'm excited. The mind gets the sun in its evolutionary journey. Your insights get to learn proper timing and to hold the space. So I love that you brought this up. Thank you. Because if 43 is the hymn, and we're thinking about, please, let's take it out of bodies. When I say him, I mean masculine, or the doing, right? The providing, or the space holding. So your 43, that ability to wait for proper timing to bring the insight is the thing that holds the boundary of your, oh my gosh, this 23 ability to bring, when is the right time to bring it out. So 43 guides, leads. 23 says, I want to say it. Here's how I assimilate it. 43 says, all right, baby, here's the right time.
Thank you.
Mhm. Yeah.
You helped me solve it. I was thinking about it the whole time.
Where does the heart fit in? Is the heart is it identified with the body?
Uh,
Or is it like a marriage place, the marriage, the bridal chamber?
This is a beautiful point in which we got to bring up the glossary, right? What do you mean when you say heart? Heart means a lot of things. It could mean something in human design. It could mean like our heart. It could mean the ego center. When you refer the heart, what do you mean?
Are you talking about Gaia being the heart? Because a lot of people refer Gaia as being the heart. Is that what you're
No, what I'm feeling in the heart to be is that common, that meeting place
Mm-hmm.
between masculine, feminine, sun and earth.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the fire of the Merkaba.
In a way, the crucible.
Yeah, the crucible that you mentioned. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a place of harmonization.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
And
Harmonization.
crystallization and purification and
It's the, in the
all these other
Trinity,
things.
Yes.
with the opposites, it's the balance point.
Yeah.
Place where
The chaos.
both come together.
It's a point of singularity.
Yeah,
As
yeah, yeah.
Hawkins used
Or,
to say.
or it's a place where
I
the
love David.
paradox can exist
Mm-hmm.
and be okay.
Mm-hmm. And that's you. You are where the paradox can exist and be okay. That's you. So remember, as above, so below, right? When we're talking about one cellular thing, we're talking about the planets and the cosmos. You are the inside of the Merkaba. You are the energy of the cosmos trying to come down and the form trying to come up. You are that heart. You are that. Be in the tension between 37 and 40.
What the numbers mean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
In the tension between divine will and love of your community.
Oh,
Bringing divine will into the love of your community.
And he does a good job of it.
Oh, the best. Said you do a dang good job of it, he said.
I'm learning to receive that.
Yay, good. So who else wants to have their sun give a sentence to their earth? Okay, Ray. Enrique, your sun and earth are very similar archetypal spectrums as Ray is going to share. Obviously different stories, different mythologies, but same flavor.
Same number.
Endure and provoke abundance.
Endure and provoke
Yeah.
abundance.
Yeah.
That,
Do
what
what's
that's what
necessary,
your
as long as it takes and make abundance.
that's what your head would say to your her, your him to your her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say it again.
Well, first of all, I need to straighten out some context for me.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And that is mind and no mind is something that I think is quite different than what we're talking about.
For sure, in a different context.
yeah.
Oh
So,
yeah.
For me, the best understanding that I have for mind is imagination.
Okay.
So my imagination tells my enduring soul, do what it takes and create abundance.
That's what he says to her, or the imagination
Yeah, and she
says to the body.
him, I'll be happy to do that and I will be fruitful because of that endurance that I have to
Mm.
bond with this beauty of abundant of everything. What it's not money,
Yeah.
but the best way to say it is prosperity is the best word that defines what abundance is for me.
Yeah.
Because prosperity is the entire reach of the soul to its home within the cosmos.
Mm.
But anyway, the imagination to me is more appropriate because I do everything I can to have no mind, to be empty so that I can hear better,
Mm-hmm,
so
mm-hmm.
that I can hear the right omens and the right promptings and the right timing. And
Yeah.
mind to me used to be this busy thing that interfered with my capacity to be a good receiver
Yeah.
and a good transmitter. So I don't want to take the idea of no mind away from me,
Right.
because I've found an incredible level of solace and an incredible level of cosmic communication that
In
I
that place.
didn't appreciate or couldn't access when I was dependent on mind all
Mindful.
the time.
Yeah. And I think that's a beautiful thing that you bring to the table is that this is the science of differentiation. And I have a defined head and ajna, and I am here to fulfill through mind. So in me saying that no, mind is not something that we're into, that's my truth. So
Yeah,
thank you
well,
for
you
bringing
define that.
yours, because you have an undefined head and
Yeah,
ajna.
exactly.
And so, of course, the thinking about things could be something that could prevent you from hearing your purpose.
Yeah, I just want to receive.
Yeah. What I get that.
Is far more accurate than what I think.
Yeah. And for me, it was almost the opposite journey.
Yeah.
I had to start believing what I thought because I would discount it for what everything else I received. See, we all have different paths, different,
Different strokes for different folks.
all of that. Thank you. Did you see yourself or find yourself in those words at all? Or
No.
any part of your story, Enrique, in Ray's words?
About creating abundance.
Creating abundance, yeah.
I can see myself connecting to that.
And he's a tough guy from the point of view that he doesn't give up.
Yeah.
He's got that persevering channel that overcomes
Yeah.
hardships continuously in order to
The fighter, it's called.
continue to see the dream
Yeah.
and surrender to what's necessary to make it.
I can see that.
Ding, ding, ding. And so the intersection of not surrendering to that brings not abundance and the provocation that in between is everything that you believe about being provocative or abundant comes to be seen.
And in the middle is trusting.
Right.
Because if you don't trust, you cannot materialize.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I tell myself every day.
Yeah. And he's a 5-1. So there's his leadership, voice of leadership saying, this is how I've investigated it. This is what I've learned about it. And this is what I've taken from it. And that's a gift that you have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll do mine.
Yeah.
Well, this is where I think about it is I have 11-4 as my son. So it's an opportunist with ideas. And then I have also Standstill, the prophet. So for me, it's all about timing. You can have the idea, but you could recognize that if you wait, it can form so that I'm not just giving you half ideas.
Yep.
You can have the whole idea. And it being in an opportunist way, it's all about networking. When I'm coming up with ideas, the idea is not for me. The idea is for you and you and you and you and you. So the actual forming of the idea and able to actually put it out there is the interactions. And my ideas, I only have the bubble, but I need the input. Like I need everybody else's ideas to form one big one that can actually will have the right opportunity to really show itself.
Yeah.
It's kind of where I see it.
And then when you do wait for that proper timing and that right opportunity, 12-4, I can receive it with you being the prophet instead of what's the opposite of a prophet?
Yeah, because the prophet is actually just
Naysayer.
foreseeing.
Right.
So it's like this is something I've foreseen. And then I've waited to the right time to present it to you.
Mhm.
You know.
And as a manifester, I'm sure you have a lot of stories about when you leapt too soon.
Oh yeah, and
Or didn't wait for it to incubate
I
until
always
it
talk
was
about
full.
the bubble poppers. like the idea. You get the idea, and then you told somebody too soon, and they're like, "Here, I got this big needle that goes," and then it's flat, it's gone, and then you're like, "Man, I should have let that one stew a little longer."
Yep.
And then your needle wouldn't have popped it because it would have been too strong.
What's the needle?
Brilliant.
Just the needle is usually the
naysayer.
naysayers, the
Yeah.
immediates that say, no, this can't be done. That's not how it's done. Why would you do it that way? This is a better way. Well, you could either, those are
The skeptic.
the skeptics. Yeah. I mean, that's the hardest part about being a manifester is we're doing something different, but everybody wants you to do it the same.
Or their way.
Or their
Every
way. And,
single
yeah,
body.
And then you're like, but I really think this will work. And it's like, but you could save money or you could do this or this and do this. And you're like, no, but that
I'm a
isn't-
manifester. I'm going to do it this
I
way.
got a different formula right here. Yeah, so that's kind of, that's the thing. And the opportunity
Yeah.
is, you see it in different places, because you're collecting everything. You're collecting your network. So then not a lot of people can see the opportunity because they don't have the same network.
Yeah.
And that can
And they
be-
don't see from the place you see.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody
But
does.
you're like, I promise you, we can make this work.
Thank you. Something that you just brought to my attention that I kind of got lost in the thought of, why I paused like that, was the remembering as your friend, as somebody who loves you a lot. Not that you don't have your own mythology and not that I can even save you from it, but to hold the space of knowing that that is what is happening. That you are waiting for right timing. And so when that thing has incubated and you are ready to share it and it is right timing, having that sense of excitement with you. So letting that inform my love for you, I think that that's a really special thing that we can remember about each other. Thanks for sharing.
Thanks.
You always make me want to love you more. Yeah. All right, who's next?
Well, I'll go.
Okay.
And I'm not sure which one is, but there's like two pillars that have become my watchwords, and it's trust and patience. So one of them, and I think the heart's somewhere in the middle there, because the let's say the head says trust and have patience. Body needs to have the patience because it has to wait.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can have what your heart desires.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm.
Oh, I love that you don't even know human design. You guys, whoever knows human design, he just expressed 3740. And you also said that's when the heart gets what it wants. 3740 comes from what human design calls the heart center, and its motivation is getting what it wants. So you don't even know human design, but you said the keynotes because you have never not been who you are. You don't have to know human design to be who you are, So I love how you just proved the language. You just shared that trust is 40. That's divine will, right? That's thy will. There's a lot of trust that has to happen there. And 37 is that emotional tenderness, patience to know that divine will, that thy will be here, and the love to hold the vision all the way through.
And it always works.
And it always works.
If I'm correct, I think 40 is the hexagram in the I Ching called deliverance.
Deliverance, yeah.
And
Mhm.
37
Or aloneness.
37 is the hexagram called the family.
Yes, exactly.
And so that combination of deliverance for our procreation to create the family
Mm-hmm.
that continues the essence.
Yeah,
It's a very powerful channel.
I think so
That's
too.
where the nodes are gonna be, and that's why I brought it
That's
up.
what she wants to talk about because
Yeah.
that's where we're moving or have
Return
moved.
to the family.
Have moved.
And here we are.
Different kind of family, not a nuclear family anymore, but a fractal family. That's what we're moving into. Beautiful. My teacher calls it the 40 is the father and 37 is the mother.
Yep.
So you've got the archetypal archetypes of the sun and the earth in your body. Yeah, the fundamental archetypes of the he and the she.
I have a theory on 3740. And I bring this one because of my mom. My mom had 3740. And I recognized that my entire childhood, she was giving me like little tidbits. Things that I didn't even know why my mother was even telling me. They didn't even make sense at the time. They were weird facts or things that she'd point out to me. And it was later, I would be like, all of a sudden, I would see why she told me this. Like they were literally saved my life. Like different things, like all of a sudden I'd be like, oh my God, this is the position where I'm supposed to, And I think to myself, I'm like, it was her cross of planning part that had to do with, we're so worried about the whole cross of planning. And then we almost currently we're like vilifying it as it's falling apart. But I also think that the people that have like cross of planning things here,
Mhm.
they're actually
Planning
still
the new thing.
planning the new thing.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I mean? Like they're the integral part of making sure that when things do start falling apart, that there's a strong foundation.
Of community.
And to even have, the nodes currently right there, right in an integral part of what, where it seems like everything's falling apart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Here.
An anecdote. In the old days, before human design was widespread, there was a woman called Yola,
Okay.
who I believe knew, and she lived in Taos. And she did not have one iota of interest in me whatsoever until she one day looked at my chart, did my chart, and she said, I have this sannyasana line,
Oh,
which is what she called that whatever it is, the 40.
3740.
And after that, I became like her best buddy. Well, not best buddy.
Uh-huh.
And I introduced her to Genoa.
Oh, okay.
Genoa was interested he was doing astrology. And I thought, oh, no, I bet you they would get on.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what started the whole thing for him.
Oh,
And I
wow.
always remembered, well, I don't know why she called it the sannyasana line. But
Maybe it's because Osho had it.
that particular line.
Ra called it that because the majority, almost everybody that he saw that had that line had been a sannyasin that came to him. Yeah.
So anyhow, that's my little anecdote
Yeah.
about this.
You're very connected to the roots of human design. I've seen your little fractal history.
without knowing what it's all about.
You're right. Without even knowing what it's all about at all. You never know who you are. You don't have to know this shit to be this shit.
Well, when you mentioned the 55, I was like absolutely fascinated.
Mm-hmm.
Discover every little bit about it.
Read the 22 next, if you want to.
My homework.
Yeah. They are companions, the two of them. They're beautiful.
It says something in there about it. I'll make a note. By the way, I saw a hawk today over French's Field.
You saw who?
A hawk.
A hawk.
Yeah, it was so exciting.
Oh, yay. You want to go, Valerie?
Okay. Well, I have an open head, so it's pressure. And my mind wants to always figure out why my body, why my feminine, why I feel the way I do. Wants to measure it, stop it, figure it out, keep it from happening.
Mm-hmm.
because of the turbulence and then the conflict.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So you're here to find diplomacy, and you do well. From the bit that I do know you, I just want to recognize the diplomacy that you do have for your body in knowing what you're going to eat, what you're not going to eat, and when you don't have diplomacy and the friction that happens, and then you decline the other food, right? So you pick your battles in there. I've noticed, and I think that I've recognized quite a job of finding diplomacy in that coming together of things in your body. Not that you needed my affirmation at all, but that came to life when you said that. And so 36.
Yeah, I mean, I'm here to learn emotional maturity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a lot of times I just want to rage. And, and that's the hardest part, is that it's not just the good feelings. It's not just the happy feelings. It's not, it's all of them. That's what being alive is, and doing the shadow work. And so for me, I guess what has brought me peace, and really only recently, is just to label the feelings and not try to explain them.
Yeah.
And just, feel them fully till they're gone, and then they're usually back again, and just keep, that's okay. That's okay. Okay, oh, it's rage. Oh, okay. It's rage. Not why am I so mad and what did I do wrong?
And making a
It's-
story. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We graduated from some guilt.
Well, I have 5 line, not in this is by 2, but they're resonance. So,
Yeah.
A lot of guilt, and I have a lot of 3 lines too, so a lot of shame around. I mean, I was probably shamed quite often as being too emotional.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the big, it's the big one.
You know what I like, because I got the opposite where he's cross Eden, so I'm on the flip flop. But the trust, like when you do have, like with my 6, friction and things like that, it's the trust. I'm like, okay, if I am feeling friction, I trust that my body is actually just I'm just going to trust my body. I'm going to trust this friction. I'm going to trust this chaos. I'm going to trust this, and I'm going to trust that I actually have the tools to actually not to alchemize it. I don't fight anything anymore. It's I have the tools to alchemize this chaos and this friction, and none of it's actually incorrect, just like what you were saying, but it's just trusting that it's hard to say, like how you even said with food, like me, for it's people, like sometimes people, like I my body all of a sudden prickles up. I'm like, you know what, this is there's nothing wrong with this. I actually don't have to make myself comfortable. I'm thankful that I have this system in me to actually help me navigate this world and show me my fractals and show me my places. And I don't know, I guess that's where with where being on the other side, mine's 6'6", and 36'6" is just, you have an extra sensory set of tools that you should trust, and don't let anybody else tell you otherwise.
You're actually following the highest wisdom of what's being understood today.
Yeah.
By choosing to feel, to identify it and feel it without judging it. That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Experience.
that is the highest wisdom that all of the angels and beings are now bringing to us as to how to deal with emotions and what they're all about and have to integrate them and move and evolve.
And this is the cross of the sleeping phoenix.
Mhm.
And applying the chironic 6-line emotional intelligence healing to that, you are bringing, like they're both saying, that alchemy that you're saying to 34, be the power of self, of the archetype, in emotional truth, 55, in relationships, friction, 59-6. The cross of the sleeping phoenix is asking for all of us to do exactly what you are saying that you have been doing this whole life, is what we are moving into. And that's what he's saying. Not sure why this became a rescue mission, but apparently we felt it in the community to give you a little uplift.
Let's not see her, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
See each other.
yeah, it is. It is.
Well, I'm really that.
Well, what I'd like to congratulate you for is experiencing who you are.
And if diplomacy was the goal, then we have more than beyond it.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Knowing you, I don't know. It's just like, I feel like there's always a balance in poise in the way you present yourself to everyone and everything. Like even the food. Right?
Thank you. I mean, I of course don't quite see it.
But that's because you've got it all going on inside. That's what that
Yeah.
36-6 is happening. It's either super chaos outside or super chaos inside, and you get to be in that balance of diplomacy.
Okay.
Plus, the more you do it, the more you model it.
Mm-hmm.
And then people just see the harmonious outcomes in you as a healed, wounded healer.
Yeah.
I like that. Thank you.
Which gate's your Chiron in?
19, codependency. Bit of a trap.
Sacrifice. It's actually, I would you like to hear what just came into my head? I heard it loud.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see if I can grab it back because I asked permission. It wanted to come right the heck out. Hold on. What did you just say? Can you say that thing again and see if it sparks me?
Well, Ray said it. Didn't you?
Sacrifice. Okay. Here, I got it back.
Sacrifice.
Yeah.
I got it back.
Codependency.
Codependence. Sacrifice. So if we apply sacrifice to 36 and 6, that is the balm. Chaos outside, chaos inside, chaos outside, chaos inside, chaos outside, chaos inside. Where can I meet the needs of myself and the outside? That's that sacrifice. It's not codependency. It's not, my mind wants the donut, so my mind's going to eat the donut, and now my body has to pay for it. Oh, my body wants the kale. My mind has to suffer now because my body wants the kale. I know I'm using a silly thing, but it's maybe easy to see in that abstract way. The balance is what sacrifice is healthy to meet the overall needs of the system on both sides. That's what you turn your face toward. Instead of that ping pong of, I want what I want, it hurts. I don't want to hurt, but I want what I want. You know, whatever that thing is that's going on, the friction out or the friction in. The key is 19.
And also, a sacrifice willingly given is a gift, not a sacrifice.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why it's the city and the gift.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And in your cards, I do cards big time. You have the Jack of Hearts in your Uranus position, so it's the gateway to your higher imagination and your higher understanding. But when you are able to integrate diplomatically
Can you
within
repeat the
your
gate you're
own
talking
presence, this
Description.
expression innocently
Oh,
given.
I'm sorry, I
rather
can't
than
mention it. I
feeling
don't know
like
which one I was
it's being
talking
written
about.
out of you.
The hierarchy of Uranus is the back, the inside, the divine inside. And the lower up is the
Thank you,
chaos.
everybody, for being here. I'm going to close this down. Thank you. Thank you.
What you receive is divine. So the tension and the chaos